Welcome to Ruin an Hour, a safe place to talk about anything from sobriety, addiction, depression, anxiety, balance, life. Everything under the sun, anything you guys want to talk about. This is a safe place to talk about anything. You can talk about anything that's going on in your life. I will give an ear, listen, not a certified therapist, so I can't do any proper professional diagnoses or give any professional advice, but I am somebody that will listen. And I know a lot of people need that. So this is a free form show where people can talk about whatever you want, and we can go from there. I'm using this mic today because I thought it would sound a little bit better. Let me know if it sounds worse, if it sounds distorted or anything like that. I'm going to flip around the monitor so I can see. Check. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. How's everybody doing out there? Happy Friday. I apologize that I haven't been doing these more. Let me turn the audio down. Man, it's a lot doing all this alone and also trying to host it at the same time, making sure all the tech things are good. But how is everybody doing out there on Friday? It's a big day. It's the end of the week. Hope everybody's doing good. And if you're not doing good, that's okay too. You know, if you ain't doing well, if you're going through a hard time, it's fine. Doesn't mean that it's going to be forever. Feelings are transient. When you're in them, they feel terrible, and it feels like it's going to last forever. I'm definitely somebody that can attest to that. What's up, Omar, Pixie, Desi, Impossible, Hand Cramps, John, Jan? What's everybody doing? I'm 45. I turned 46 next week. 2 months ago, I had a nervous breakdown, and I fell into a deep depression. I have since lost my job, and now I have to sell my house. Universal Cipher, I'm sorry to hear that. So did you lose your job as a result of the depression? How did that go? And what were the catalysts for the depression? Is this something that you've been dealing with for like all of your life? Is this just something that's new? Is this seasonal maybe? You're sunburnt, Pixie. I'm also suffering from the sun. I'm white as the devil, and when I go out in the sun, I burn really quickly, so I don't learn my lesson either. I've been drinking every day. My uncle just passed away a couple days ago. Out of all my dad's brothers, he was probably my favorite one. Omar, my condolences for your uncle passing away. I'm sorry to hear that, man. It's understandable, man. Grief is not easy to get through. The loss of a loved one is extremely difficult. A lot of the time, when I've lost people that are close to me, I sometimes I feel like I've kind of like bottled it away and like put away the feelings of grief because I don't know how to really cope with the reality that that person isn't there anymore. I still don't, like when Ben passed away, I still don't really know how to process that he's not here because he's like been one of my closest friends for all my life. So losing him is like really, it just doesn't make sense internally. So give yourself the grace to feel that grief, know when you're leaning into it for an escape, but also there is a healthy way of traversing grief as well. I'm getting checked for 4 types of cancer. No liver cancer, but still waiting on the results for the rest. Good job, Pixie. I just did a walk for cancer last weekend. If you guys remember, my friend Ryan, he is stage 4 colon cancer. He's also very young. He's 39. He just turned 40. So I definitely recommend everybody to go and get checked out. That's also a reminder for me to go get checked out and take some accountability for myself. But that's great that you're getting checked out. Cancer is insane nowadays, and it feels like people are just getting it at a younger and younger age. Yeah, the depression is new. So has anything changed in your life that was maybe the catalyst for the depression? I mean, I know that you're like you're on hardships right now, so I won't suggest going to therapy because therapy is definitely a luxury. But are there people in your life that are safe to talk to about this? Y'all ain't use sunscreen? I know. I need to. It's dumb. It's super dumb that I don't. When I remember, I do. But oftentimes I work out outside at my gym and I just forget to like spray it on. But the last couple times I've been doing it, so word to the wise. Hey everyone, I'm in my last semester of nursing school, but I don't care for any of it anymore. I want an automotive school to get a tour. I went to an automotive school to get a tour and see what it's like, and I really like it. The problem is Frankie. Okay, if you're saying that you have some sort of reservations about switching careers, it's fine, dude. You can switch careers whenever. Life is not a solid chunk of text. Life is a bunch of chapters. And even breaking down even further, life is a bunch of paragraphs. So you could have many chapters of your life, you know. It's like there's no shame in trying something out, knowing that it doesn't work for you, and then switching to something else. If anything, I think that's really healthy. The problem is I am buried under debt, and I don't think I can even start automotive school. I mean, yeah, that is a problem. I mean, but at the same time, dude, I'll say this. Everybody is in debt. Every single fucking person I know is in some sort of debt. I'm in debt. Everybody I know is in debt. So don't obviously harbor any like self-shame about that. There must be a way that you can transfer over to another school keeping some sort of loan or something like that. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to do that. 5 years clean this year. Happy to be here. Love y'all. Stan the Roy Man. Congrats on the 5 years. That's huge, man. Today's your birthday. Hell yeah, man. That's really, really dope. You don't necessarily need to go to school for it, Desi says. So maybe that's some good advice right there. John, what did you write before that group 1A? I didn't see your first part of your question. My partner is bipolar, and she's been going to therapy and on meds most of her life. She is helpful, but with her condition and what has happened with me recently, things have been very difficult. That's understandable, man. It's very understandable. Losing your job is never easy, and there's not like an easy way out, essentially, because I totally understand how it ropes into like ego, self, all that, and it's really hard. Like, you know, when I fall on hard financial times, it wears on my ego a lot, and when I know that it shouldn't. I understand that we all want safety and to put a roof over our head and want to be able to have food in our fridge and all that, like the basics of survival, but the core, money only has power if you give it power. It only has power over you if you give it power, and a job doesn't define you either. You're not your job. Also, you're not a husband. You're not a father. Those are just things that you do. You're still you at the core. It's kind of the same thing as like when Universal Cypher is saying that he is depressed. He's feeling depressed. It's a feeling you can assign to what you're traversing through instead of assigning your whole self to that thing. But I totally understand how much it sucks, and my heart goes out to you, man. Merc, what's up? Blue, what's cracking? I'm not sure what the catalyst is. My mother attempted suicide in 2021, and things have just seemed like a downward spiral since then. Yeah, that's extremely difficult to go through, man. I mean, I would highly suggest you try somehow to get into therapy. I don't know where you live. If you live here in America, I know that there's like sliding scale options for therapy. But I think that would be really, really therapeutic for you to talk to somebody about this, talk to your depression, have somebody that you can talk to outside of your wife that you feel like you won't feel guilty unloading your problems onto. That's a really good part about a therapist, is that you don't have to feel guilty about taking up all the space in the room for an hour and not giving them space. Admittingly, it's something I have a really big problem with. I still like ask my therapist a lot of things about her because I just can't help myself. That's my like character defect, is that I feel bad about taking up all the space, and that's a thing that I work through in therapy too. But yeah, Greg, this is a safe place to talk, man. Welcome. I see that you're a member. If you have anything you're going through, bro, you can talk about it in here. I've been doing these for like 4 years, but off and on. Noodle, what up? Hope you're good. I've been struggling with how to make money from my art. I do as much as I can with the energy I have. I promote myself and have a career, but it feels impossible. It's a joke from God. Well, it's not impossible. It's 100% not impossible. It's not impossible. It's probably really, really, really difficult, and that's understandable, man. And like I said, with the depression, give yourself grace, man. It's like not hustling from like your artwork and creativity is not only really, really hard. It's also so luck based, timing, everything. I remember like hearing, you guys know who Nems is, right? I was watching one of his podcasts, and before Nems like blew up from like that sidewalk interview stuff, he was like not really doing the best for a while. He was kind of like fading into obscurity from like his career wise, but he said that the best thing that you can do is just keep going. Keep at it. Even when it's discouraging, even when people are like, oh, you're still doing that. If I had a fucking dollar for every time people like my like close friends in college, like kind of like made judgments on like me spending my own money on filming battle rap and like, not getting paid. Still to this day, when I do jobs pro bono, when they're my homies, and I will tell somebody like, yeah, I did that job for free. Still, I feel like some judgment from like people that are close to me. They're like, oh, you're like doing that for free, but like you're not like financially that well. And I'm like, yeah, it's not about money. So, just keep going. Forget all the judgments from everybody else. If you know in your core that this is what you want to do, just press on. Keep pressing on. I know that it will come out on the other end. Shout outs to you. Watched you a bunch while I was struggling with drugs. I'll be 7 months clean next week. Hell yeah, man. It's great to hear. How does that feel? You live in Florida? Yeah, man. So I think there's like some sliding scale options for you. I think some therapists, like when I say sliding scale, it means that therapy can be a little bit more affordable based on your income, especially if you've lost your job. I feel like this country there should be some sort of like, almost like unemployment, but with therapy. So it's like if you lose your job, that you get offered therapy is almost like aftercare for that experience. Peggy, how you doing? Good to see you in here. I'm still not leaving my home. It's been a long time. I do therapy every week, but it's 1 step forward and 2 steps back. What's the 2 steps back? Is the therapy the 2 steps back? I understand how difficult that must be, like being like walled up in your own house. It is amazing that you have access to things like this where you can interact with people. And so it does feel like you're getting out a little bit in terms of socializing. But I do think, even if you would like, do you have a backyard that you can go out to and just like walk around, feel the sunshine, the air? I think there's something to be said about that. But also give yourself a lot of grace. If you like don't feel like doing it today, say like, that's okay. Tomorrow I can do it. Amalgate Productions. I'm pronouncing that incorrect. Congrats on 7 months. Hell yeah, Blue. Greg, what up, dude? These always come at the best times. I'm gearing up to start production on my first film project in 4 years and find myself battling with a lot of self-doubt, and I fear it won't work out or turn out. Yo, dude, I know everything about self-doubt. I am the king of self-doubt and self-deprecating and harsh judgment about myself. Everything I do, I think looks like shit. I think I'm not worthy of anybody's love. I think every like potential partner doesn't think I'm good enough. I don't think I'm good enough. I know all about it, dude. I will say that's a tool that your mind has learned to keep you stuck. And it's probably from some deep self wound that you experienced early in childhood, or it could not be. A lot of people are just like really critical about themselves. Maybe you grew up with like a parental figure that was very harsh and judgment wise. But I will say this: do the opposite of what your mind is, your small self, I will say, your small self is telling you to do. If your small self is like, this won't work out, this is gonna suck, there's gonna be so many technical problems, just be like, yeah, there will probably be problems. Every single production I've ever done, every single battle event I've ever done, there are problems, there are issues, things I fuck up, things I forget. I beat myself up over it. It's fine. It turned out fine in the end. It's like, I do VFX for a living also. Most of my VFX job is not like making Iron Man or making Transformers or like something that's obviously VFX. It's cleaning up mistakes. There's a cable in this shot. You need to remove it. This person's wig thing is like off and you can see the netting in the wig. You need to clean that up. It happens, man. Mistakes happen even in life. And the best way to go about them is just learning from them, not beating yourself up over them and saying that you're not worthy because you made a mistake, because making a mistake is human. You have to make mistakes. You have to fall when you walk. You have to fall when you run. You have to, even with skateboarding, you have to fall all the time. So just do it, man. You got this. You got it. Trust me. I know that was like very motivational speaker, but it resonates with me deeply. I got dumped 4 days ago. I get it. Sorry to hear that, Pixie. How are you doing with that, traversing that? I know that that's not easy. The concept of your inner critic being driven by a harsh parental figure's voice in your head was a breakthrough for me in therapy. 100% Rohizi. Yeah, dude, totally. I mean, I know all about that. I live in a small upstairs apartment, no yard. I have almost no support. The battle rap community has been good to me. I haven't found anyone that knows as much about agoraphobia. Yeah, Peggy, I'm sure there's a lot of... have you ever like looked out on the interwebs for like agoraphobia like support groups? I wonder if there is like any like support groups out there that people that come together and just share stories. I wonder if that would be like therapeutic for you to like be like, hey, this is happening to me now. Is anybody going through this? Much like this, this format. I wonder if there's anything like that out there. But it is wonderful that you do have the battle rap community to like for an outlet to get out socially. Yeah, I'm just curious if there's any like support groups for your particular challenge. We've looked into therapy options, but have to sell my house is making things difficult. We only have, sorry, my eyes are absolutely atrocious. We only have about 2 months before we can't pay the mortgage, so we have to list or risk losing everything. Yeah, man, can you do some side hustles for now? Can you deliver Uber? Excuse me. Can you do like some small jobs? Like when I've fallen on hard financial times, like the film industry is in the dumps right now, so there's like no work. But a lot of people are turning to that. They're turning to doing jobs like Uber. There's no shame in that. You've got to like hustle to make money. So maybe you could do something like that for the time being, and knowing that it's not forever. It won't be forever. This period, I'll say this, dude. This little period in your life that feels so depressing and so low, and feels like, even if it feels like it's lasting forever, it's not forever. It's not forever. This will pass. Thanks, Avalon, the man. Time to get to work. Hell yeah, dude. You got it. Go get that shit. I just got ZVE 10 to fuel my photography passion. What is ZVE 10? I'm hearing the money thing right now. Like, I'm adding to my portfolio and have folks saying not to do that for free. Like, bro, let me live. Yeah, that's the thing, man, dude. I mean, at risk of sounding like the most stereotypical dude in front of a camera giving a motivational speech, which is everything that I cringe at, but yet I become that so often. I will say this, dude. Listen to people with a grain of salt. Like, hear that underneath that harsh, critical judgment of like, oh, you're doing something for free, you shouldn't. Don't take that personal, and basically try to look at that like, this person just cares about me. They just care, and they're trying to express their care through this advice, which may not be the advice that I need to take for myself. But what I can do is accept their love and their care for me. I think that's like a healthier way of going about, instead of being like, oh, that person doesn't know what they're talking about. They're just a hater. You know, labeling somebody as a hater, just being like, actually, they do care. They do care about you a lot. That's why they're here giving you advice, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the advice that you take. Sony's, you got a new camera. Hell yeah. That's dope. Man, you got to invest. You have to invest in your business. Like, like, how many years was Amazon around before it started making money? So many businesses, like, don't make money. I remember, like, when I was I talk about my ex-girlfriend way too much, but when I was with my ex-girlfriend, she ran a business for many, 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 many years. And the thing about business is business isn't always profitable, if ever, to be honest. But the thing, when people would ask her how her business was doing, I could tell there was like, it sucks because they want to just hear, your business is doing good, my business is doing great, I'm making so much money. But when you tell them, yeah, the business isn't doing good, like consistently over and over again, they feel like, well, maybe it's not working, maybe try something else out. It's like, dude, just like what I was saying earlier, you have to stick with things for a very long time until they work out. Especially in business, especially in something as owning your own business. You have to work so hard at it for so long and just trudge through mud for so long, and honestly kind of put yourself in debt a little bit. So it's something that I learned from that, and that sucked to see somebody go through that. But it's on the other hand, if you just have like a security within yourself of like, yeah, this is going to be difficult for a while, but in the future there's light at the end of the tunnel. I just need to get to that. I hate that question. Yeah, man. Those drugs, but sorry, Greg. Hey, Abo, I've never actually gone to actual therapy. I really had family. I never really had family to talk to. I've only had my friends, and my two best friends both died last year to drug abuse. I myself don't use drugs, but anyway, I dated a girl and we were together for 2 years. No arguments, no fights. I gave up pretty much all my hobbies: skateboarding, surfing, filming, editing, kayaking. And then, I'll wait till your next question. Consistency is key, for sure. Consistency is key, Blue. I got to the doctor appointments. I'm restoring a 1980s strawberry shortcake bicycle. That's awesome. Keeping my mind occupied. I was fired due to a car wreck I was in and lost everything after, so I'm staying strong and busy. Hell yeah, Pixie. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're doing the best thing. You're finding something that gives you joy and putting some mental focus and energy into that. That's wonderful. And also really cool to be doing what you're doing. That's like very unique. And then her family got involved and basically convinced her that I wasn't good enough for her family. Des really dug deep into the person I used to be. They also really happened on the way. They also really harped on the way that my friends died. Yeah, so did you lose the relationship? I'm assuming that's what happened, Greg. Which I'm first of all, I'm really sorry about your friends, man. Passing away from drug abuse is really hard. It's really hard to go through what you're going through right now, and I get it. That's extremely difficult, and you have nobody to talk to about what you're going through, and especially if you feel like you kind of lost yourself in a relationship, I can see how that would be extremely challenging to come out on the other side. I'm not struggling, but I do suffer from depression, but I work enough to avoid it hitting me. But all it takes is an idle Tuesday night to put the worst thoughts on my head. Yeah, man, dude, I can empathize with that extremely. I mean, I think I've like suffered from depressive thoughts a lot in the past 6 years. And I will completely empathize that, like, nighttime when nobody's around is when it gets dark. It gets super, super, super dark and super grim. And all the voices come out telling you that you're not good enough, that this feeling is going to last forever, that you pushed everybody away that loved you, and you fucked up every relationship, and now you're alone, and this is how it's going to be for the end of like I think that often. Even now, I think that often. I've been thinking that a lot recently. But it's understandable, man. It's like the thing that I always try to remember when those things hit me, like in at night, and I feel like really, really, really dark and really, really low, is that emotions are transient. You're just emotion surfing. You're at a low. You're gonna come out on the other end. And also, what I find is that when I go to sleep and wake up the next day, in the mornings, I always feel way better. I always feel a lot better. And there's just so much more to do in the day. I feel good, and I always try to remember that feeling isn't going to last forever, and it's just a fleeting feeling. It's a result of a lot of different things. It's not like the true reality. It's also a lot of stuff adding up into like one maybe like false picture of yourself. So I think just give yourself the grace, man. Like sometimes if instead of like, because there's also a problem in avoiding those feelings. I let myself feel bad a lot. I let myself feel bad quite often. I let myself feel bad, but it's also a choice sometimes. I think there's like a healthy line between like victimizing yourself and always feeling like that, because I can say that I've done that quite often too. Of like trying to play the victim a lot in life, when I'm not a lot of the times, and also choosing a perspective to have. Like sometimes if I feel like moving into that victim mindset of like, oh my God, nobody loves me, all my exes don't even care that I'm like not in their lives anymore, blah blah blah, I have no friends, like I'm almost 40 and this is what I'm like, I'm like lost, all things that are like a skewed perspective. I'm choosing that perspective right now, and I can choose two things. I can choose to walk through that door of victimhood and self-blame and shame and judgment, or I can choose to be kind to myself and be like, it's okay, Kyle. It's okay to feel like shit. And that feels a lot better, man. It feels a lot better when I like choose to practice self-love and give myself the grace of feeling like, yeah, this is hard, but don't make your bed and lie in it consistently all the time. Take a little nap and then get up, do something else that you enjoy. But yeah, I think that good advice is in there of picking up a hobby again. You said that like you used to skate. Dude, I started skating again. There's like a skate park up the street, like that Dirtbad Dan showed me. Like when he came and stayed here, and I've been going there every like weekend now, and just like rolling around, not even doing anything good, like just doing like 50/50s and like fucking like like 180s and stuff, like nothing crazy, honestly, but it's super fun, Forgiving yourself is a part of forgiveness, yeah, for sure. It's not all about self-talk, but it is sure a large part about that, yeah. Very true, Rohizi. Yeah, for sure. It's very real, right? Acceptance is key to understanding oneself. Yeah, a term my therapist uses a lot with me is radical acceptance, which I'm sure is like a therapist's like golden term, but radical acceptance will help you out a lot of the times. Back on a beard. Oh, back on a board. Yeah. I'm sorry. My eyes are so bad. My God. Ilmac like makes fun of my vision consistently. Yeah, I'm back on a board. I've been skating a little bit. It's kind of fun. Exercising and walking makes such a big difference if you're able to. It doesn't induce more anxiety if it doesn't induce more anxiety in your specific case. Totally agree with that. You know me, I'm a big gym rat. Love the gym. I can't say enough good things about exercise in general. I think it is such a good therapeutic tool. If you can move somehow, you don't need to go outside. You don't need to go to a gym. You can literally just move in your living room. Just walking, you can literally walk in circles. You can do squats with your body. A lot of the workouts I do now are just body weight. It doesn't even I don't even use weights sometimes, most of the time. But hell yeah. What was Peggy talking about earlier? Oh, nice. A couple other people have agoraphobia. That's good to see that there's a lot of commonality in the chat. Agreed. I know it's so difficult and easiest to make a thing to resist, but you're doing a lot. Even a week straight will do wonders for your mental health, for sure. Yeah, even, dude, 1 day a week of working out would do amazing. One thing that personally helped me was doing the bare minimum exercise-wise, like just a 5-minute run every other day to get started. Yeah, man. I mean, even a 5-minute run is kind of a lot for a lot of people. I feel like, dude, even if you run a block, like just run a block. Go out there, run a block, go to a track, run just half the track. Just like, you'll be fine. And just also like, you know, when it's difficult, it'd be like, it's fine that it's difficult. Like, dude, I still to this day, I've been working out most of my life. Still to this day, I'll go and work out, and like things that were easy the previous day will be hard randomly the next day. And I have to like give myself grace and not be like, you're a fucking pussy. Why can't you do this? And be like, it's all right, man. It's okay. Step out of denial and into the sight of getting some glasses. I know, man. Well, the problem is I went and got prescribed glasses at like Lens Crafters, and when I put them on, they hurt so bad, and everything, and it wasn't sharp. It wasn't like I put them on and I was like, whoa, I can see that the writing over there in the wall. It was like I still kind of had to like adjust my eyes a little bit, and I was telling the person that prescribed to me, I was like, these actually hurt a little bit. They were very dismissive about it, like, oh, you'll get used to it. And I was like, nah, I won't get used to it. I don't want to put myself through additional pain and fuck up my vision potentially more. So I think I'm going to go to a different place that I think has a little bit more ability to, you know, match my needs. I think a chain, they're kind of just churning people in and out, admittedly, because they probably don't have the time and space to really give so much attention to one person. Do I wear pads and a helmet? No, I do not. There's no such thing as life. Oh, that's good advice right there, Rohizi. There's no such thing as life as too little. Man, I can't believe I keep saying that wrong. Get LASIK. I know. I need to invest. I need to invest in some stuff. How do you manage a good headspace when you're super busy? Seems like you're always doing something. Sometimes I need a few days due to myself to rejuvenate. Oh boy, you're probably actually healthy, man. Like honestly, like the way I operate, I think is actually not really super healthy. I think like I utilize work as an escape a lot of the times, and I'm also so just always doing something. And I know that's like the most corniest, cringe thing to say is like I'm always doing something. I'm always busy. But I don't like idle time. I don't like just sitting around. When I'm with a partner or something, I love that. I love to like, you know, just sit and like be in like the space of another person. But when I'm alone, which I've been alone for a very long time, I am always moving and doing something. And I think it also helps when I'm doing something I love. I think it's like kind of unfair for me to compare myself to a lot of other people because I do what I like every day. You know, it's like this. I care about mental health a lot. I'm doing this. I care about this. This doesn't feel like work to me. This feels like I'm just doing something that's good, you know. That was probably the wrong prescription, but you will get headaches and stuff because your brain has to adjust. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, Dizzy. Everything you said definitely resonates. I'm pretty sure I need my skateboard in this moment in my life. It's funny how taking your anger out on a little piece of wood can give you happiness. Definitely, Greg. Definitely, man. How long has it been since you've skated? Like, do you still watch videos and stuff? I watch skate videos religiously, man. Like I still watch skate videos to this day, and it sucks because I mean that's kind of like a thing with me and Ben. We both grew up skateboarding together, so like he was kind of the only person in my life still that I still like sent videos to, and we would like talk about skate videos and stuff, and like that's the kind of thing that like when that happens, that really makes it real because I always think, oh, I'll text Ben this video, and I'm like, ah, shit. It's weird. I get things like that all the time with him. Like all the time. I was at his memorial, like his funeral, basically. And there's things happening at his funeral that I was like, wait till I tell him this. It was really weird that I was like, it's weird. It still feels like he's here. It still doesn't feel real. So, I understand how that's a hard thing to traverse. It takes time to adjust. It does. It definitely does. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry these are like so few and far in between. It's hard for me to find time to do these, but that's not really a good excuse. I should do these more often. I appreciate everybody that's in here. Anybody going through anything, my heart goes out to you. All the people that said they were sober, that's awesome. I'm going to be 6 years in July. Can't believe it's been that long. Drinking is really wild that it's just not a part of my neurological pathway anymore for escape. It's just not there. It doesn't exist. But yeah, appreciate all you guys. Much love. You guys have a good weekend. Stay strong. Give yourself grace and kindness and self-love and all that stuff. And if you can, call your mom. Call your family. Tell somebody that you're close to that you love them. Or tell a stranger a compliment. Give kindness to a stranger. You never know what somebody's going through. You never know what a simple smile and a compliment of like, those shoes are cool, man. That shirt's dope. Nice car, nice paint. You know, like your hair looks dope. Anything. Doesn't have to be creepy. Doesn't have to be anything more than what it is. Just spread some kindness. All right, peace out, guys.